The summer sun was merciless that afternoon, but the sprawling green lawn of the Whitmore estate was buzzing with laughter, clinking glasses, and the smell of grilled ribs. It was the annual family reunion, an event that brought 3 generations of cousins, uncles, and in-laws under one roof for a day of catching up, friendly banter, and obligatory family photos. For the most part, it was a picture-perfect gathering. But for Claire Whitmore, it was a calm before a storm she had been planning for weeks. Claire stood near the refreshments table, watching her husband Ethan charm his way through another conversation with her cousin's wife. He was always the life of the party, smooth, affable, impeccably dressed. To anyone else, he looked like the dream husband. But Claire had discovered the cracks months ago. A late-night message, a lipstick stain that wasn't hers, then a hotel receipt tucked away in his laptop bag. Her investigation had been quiet but thorough. The other woman? Vanessa, Ethan's co-worker at the architecture firm. Young, newly divorced, and, until recently, a stranger to Claire. But not anymore. Claire didn't want to confront him in silence. No, if Ethan had chosen deception, then she would choose spectacle. She tapped her glass, the sound piercing through the ambient noise like a siren. Conversations hushed. Heads turned. "I'd like to make a toast," she began, her voice steady, masking the fire beneath. "To family, to loyalty, to truth." A few guests chuckled politely, raising their glasses. Claire smiled, then turned toward Ethan. "And to my husband," she continued, her voice now sharper, "whose dedication to teamwork has extended beyond the office, so much so that he's even collaborated with his co-worker Vanessa after hours for the past 8 months. A stunned silence followed. A few gasps. Ethan's face drained of color. Claire pulled out her phone and held it up for the crowd. Text messages, hotel bookings, photos, all the blueprints of betrayal. "Want me to airdrop the file, Ethan?" Vanessa, standing across the yard beside the pool, visibly froze. She hadn't expected to be outed like this, not in front of 30 family members and 2 toddlers blowing bubbles nearby. Ethan stepped forward, his voice cracking. "Claire, can we please talk?" "No," she said coldly. "We've talked enough, haven't we? In fact, I think I've heard all your best lies already." Claire turned to the crowd. "Sorry to make this reunion memorable for the wrong reasons, but I figured if you wanted to treat our marriage like a performance, the least I could do was give him an audience." She walked off with her head high, the stunned murmurs of the family trailing behind her like a victorious anthem. Ethan stood frozen, the spotlight he had once loved now burning him with shame. And as Claire disappeared into the house, a few women nodded silently in admiration, not because of the scandal, but because of the strength it took to expose it. Claire stepped inside the house, her heels clicking against the hardwood floor like punctuation marks to the silence that had followed her departure. Her heart was racing, not from regret, but from adrenaline. It was done. The charade, the lies, the long nights pretending not to notice Ethan's sudden late meetings. All of it was over. In the kitchen, she grabbed a glass of water, her hands finally beginning to tremble now that the storm had passed. She stared out the window and saw the family slowly dispersing into uneasy clusters. Ethan remained rooted in place, embarrassed, cornered by aunts asking questions he clearly couldn't answer. Vanessa had vanished. Claire didn't care where. A soft knock came at the kitchen door. It was Rachel, her older sister. "You okay?" Rachel asked gently. Claire nodded. "I will be." Rachel stepped inside and closed the door. "You didn't have to do it like that, you know." "I know," Claire said, sipping the water. "But he didn't have to do any of it like he did." Rachel sat down beside her. "Well, you just bought yourself a ticket to every group chat in this family for the next year." Claire gave a dry laugh. "Let them talk. Let them know I didn't let him make a fool of me quietly." After a few minutes of silence, Rachel reached over and squeezed her hand. "Proud of you. Just be ready. He's going to try to spin it. Say you embarrassed him, made it worse." "I didn't make anything worse," Claire said sharply. "I just turned on the lights. He brought the cockroach." Just then, the kitchen door opened again. Ethan, pale, sweaty, nervous, Claire, he started. Can we talk, please? Alone. Rachel stood, her jaw tightening. Claire held up a hand. It's okay, she told her sister. Give us a minute. Rachel glared at Ethan as she left. Her expression saying you've got 5 minutes before I come back, with frying pan. Ethan closed the door behind him and leaned against it. I don't know what you think you saw. Claire slammed her glass on the counter. Don't insult me by pretending I don't know the difference between suspicion and proof. I have screenshots, Ethan, dates, times. I even know about the night you missed our anniversary because you were in a hotel in Midtown with her. Ethan's face crumbled. The last defense had fallen. He looked at the floor. It didn't mean anything. It was a mistake. I was stressed. You were busy. It just happened. Claire's voice was ice. It didn't just happen 8 times. It happened because you let it, and because you didn't respect me enough to stop. He looked up, eyes pleading. I'll end it. I'll go to therapy. We can fix this. No, Ethan, she interrupted. You can't fix this. Because it's not broken, it's finished. He stared at her, stunned. You're ending it? Just like that? No, not just like that. I've been ending it quietly for months. You just finally saw it today. She walked past him, calm and resolute, and paused at the door. You should go say goodbye to your family. Because after today, I don't think they'll be inviting you back either. Without another word, Claire stepped out onto the porch, where Rachel was waiting with the car keys. As they drove off, the sun dipped low in the sky, casting long shadows over the lawn Ethan still stood in, surrounded by whispers and regret. Claire rolled down the window, letting the breeze whip through her hair, a smile tugging at her lips for the first time in weeks. She didn't just expose the truth. She reclaimed her story. The drive home was quiet at first, just a hum of tires on pavement and the occasional chirp of Rachel's turn signal. Claire stared out the window, her thoughts moving faster than the car. She wasn't mourning the end. She'd already done that, alone in the dark, in every silent dinner and every fake smile. Today wasn't about heartbreak. It was about freedom. Rachel glanced over. You sure you're okay? Claire nodded. More than okay. I feel clean, like I finally scrubbed off something that's been clinging to me. Rachel smirked. Well, you definitely scrubbed the hell out of his dignity. Claire gave a small, satisfied laugh. Good. He never deserved mine. They pulled into Claire's driveway just as the sky began to glow with early evening hues, warm gold and fading pink. A quiet kind of hope. Claire stepped out of the car and looked at her house, her sanctuary. It wasn't just bricks and beams. It was hers again. No shadows, no lies. That night, Claire opened her laptop, not to check emails or social media, but to begin something new, something just for her. A travel plan, a writing project, a new start. Whatever it would be hers. And as she curled up with a blanket and a cup of tea, silence wrapped around her, not heavy or cold, but peaceful, liberating. Ethan's chapter was closed. The story now belonged to her.